and joining me once again by my side is Colin R. Mason. Colin, how are you doing?
Morning, Jess. Morning, everyone. Welcome back. We have had a week break for Easter, and we are back racing, and we are racing around Bahrain. We will find out later on if it's going to rain in Bahrain.
I hope
doesn't
not.
normally in real life. No, well, I'm actually hoping for a thunderstorm weather today, but we'll obviously find that out later on.
Yes, you're going to have to wait about 45-50 minutes for that one. So if you're hoping you're going to find out now, I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait a little bit. But as we said, Bahrain is the circuit of choice this evening for all of our tiers. Of course, you can catch P4 at 3 o'clock. It has 5.412 kilometres, 15 turns, 6 to the left, 9 to the right. It's a track where it is really hard to charge your ERS. I think ERS management in particular this evening, Cole, is going to be very key for our drivers.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think you're going to see drivers using none on the battery setting in the slower corners to try and recharge that battery. Not a particularly difficult track to overtake, though. We've got 3 DRS zones, and around here, overtaking is not too bad. Obviously, you got the long straight into turn 1, which is a good overtaking opportunity. You've got into turn 4 and into turn 11 as well. They're going to be the key points to look out for overtaking moves.
And it's not surprising that we got quite a lot of drivers taking a car wear penalty tonight, but we're not going to go through it yet. You may have seen it if you looked on the Discord, but unsurprisingly and understandably, we got loads of people that wanted it to get out of the way in Bahrain. But if you're unaware of how to take this circuit, don't you worry. Casper has driven a hot lap for us and he's going to take you through around the Bahrain International Circuit. Welcome along to round number 7 of the One Hub Racing Championship as we head to Bahrain, the first night race on the calendar. This lap is sponsored by Sim Racing Setups. As you enter turn number 1, it's a heavy braking zone. Shift down into 3rd gear, rotate the car as smooth as you can to avoid locking up, and prepare for the uphill turn 2 exit. As you enter turn number 3, aim to the left-hand side to gain a good entry in towards turn number 4. Downshift into 3rd gear through here, hold the inside curb but avoid riding it aggressively as it can unsettle the car. Turns 5, 6 and 7, very crucial with position. Tip gear through here and flat out in qualifying. As you enter turn number 8 now, heavy braking in towards this corner, 3rd gear, hug the inside curb, short shift on exit. As you enter turn number 9 and 10, trickiest braking zone on the game. Be gentle on the brake pedal and make sure you focus on smooth steering through here. DRS wide open once more, up through the gears. You'll be climbing the hill in towards turn number 11, downshift into 4th gear to smoothly carry speed into the sweeping right-hander. As you enter turn 12, watch out for the understeer mid-corner and you'll be downshifting into 3rd or 4th gear in turn number 13. Now, this is a really possible good overtaking spot, but be careful as you go through the gears once more. And towards the final few corners of turns 14 and 15, up through the gears once more, and that is a lap around the Bahrain circuit. So that is how you take the Bahrain International Circuit, and hopefully you have had some tips on how to take it if you're a bit confused. Like Welsh Benjamin said in the chat, Colin, you agree that you want this view. Casper doesn't use it. Casper doesn't use it racing, but he uses it for replays, and I have to say, it does look good. It really does look good. But anyway, we are about to go through all the lineups for each tier and just have a little bit of analysis of what happened last time out when we're in Japan. But before that, we've got a little bit of a competition that me and Colin had decided to introduce between us two, just for a little bit of fun. We thought we'll trial it for the second half of the season, and if it works, we will do it properly next season. So you know how we like to do predictions. Actually, I'll let you explain it, Colin, because you introduced the idea to me, and I was like, let's do this.
Yeah, so I don't know whether any of you watch the Matt and Tommy podcast on Spotify or whatever platform you use. They do, obviously, a prediction championship. And I thought, do you know what? That sounds a lot of fun. So Jess and I will be doing something very similar. Now, as you know, we predict the pole sitter and we predict the top 3. If we correctly predict the pole sitter, we get a point. Now, if we predict a driver on the podium, but in a different position, so let's say Jess predicts Dad to win the race, but he actually comes third. Jess will get a point. If you predict the driver in the right position, then either Jess or myself will get 2 points. And then we get bragging rights the following week when we'll go through our point system. And then we'll tally all that up. And then for the remaining rounds, we will have a winner.
And
it's going to be
rights.
me!
No, it's going to be me. It's going to be me. So we are going to do it similar to Matt and Tommy, but not copycat them because, their prediction championship is quite cool. And since we have no Bahrain race in real life, it kind of makes sense. And what we've also agreed as well is before we do the talk show, we are not allowed to check any engine or gearbox penalties. Obviously, we know if we're taking it that week ourselves, but we're not allowed to check every other tier. We can't do that. We're not allowed. So we're going to put it as if no one in that tier has got an engine and gearbox penalty. And then it will fall right on our faces if we then realise, actually, the driver we predicted has got a penalty. So anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, then we'll be swearing at drivers for taking the engine pen.
Well, they have to take it at some point, Colin.
True.
They can't not take it. And there's still quite a lot of drivers that haven't taken it. Anyway, let's move on to P4 tier. And, well, it was a dry to race in all 4 tiers last week, apart from P1, where we scheduled it to be raining, and it never did. It was just dry at the end, and it just got a bit boring. But there we go. But we'll talk about P1 later on. But P4, we saw a really good scrap between Jamie and Reaper for the win. Reaper was on the hard tyres in the wet conditions, and Jamie was on inters. And it was just a fun scrap to see who had the right strap. We didn't know if it was going to be wet enough for inters or not, but it seemed to me at the last couple of laps, Jamie had the upper hand, but it got quite close at the end.
It really did. It was getting very, very tight towards the end, but Jamie did what he needed to do. Jamie said, I think he would have had me if there was one more lap. Well, it doesn't matter. Those are the laps that you get. And if you can't do it in those amount of laps, it does not matter. And a great victory for Jamie, his second of the season.
Yep. And actually, not his second of the season. It's his second in a row, and it's his third of the season.
Oh, is it?
Because he won in round 3.
Oh, yes, of course, yeah.
Yeah, he won in round 3, he won in round 5, and he won in round 6. So he's won 3. The only driver in P4 to win 3 races this season. Nobody else has got that far into doing that. Of course, Reaper has won one race this season, and that was round 4, which was a very deserving victory. I think that was Silverstone, I might be wrong, but I can't remember the exact handle on the top of my head. But yeah, those were the people. But yeah, what could have been for Reaper, but still impressive P2 for him, and he's second in the championship now. And speaking of championship, let's look at the standings if I can find them. There we go. So Jamie is leading on 86 points, and that is quite a considerable margin between himself and Reaper. But if you look at the standings, the top 3 in the championship was where they finished last time out in Japan.
Oh, good spot. Yeah. That's quite unusual. That doesn't happen very often.
No.
Yeah, Jamie's having a brilliant season, same as Reaper. But the driver that's really, really impressed me is Jake. He's had quite a big gap. And look at his results, 2 podiums in a row, 2/3 in a row. So he's got to be happy with that. And being the highest placed Mercedes. Jack, the other Mercedes, not too far behind in 5th. He missed last week's race.
Understandably.
And got 12th at round 5. But he's certainly not out of it. Jack's a very good driver. You can see he's had 2 podiums this season already. And I wouldn't be surprised if he'll have another podium tonight.
Yeah. I won't be surprised either as well. I think both Mercedes are going to be, a threat in the constructors, so watch out for them. And we had Shiesty that could have been up there. There's a few people that have had really bad luck this season. Madge in particular got very unlucky in Japan. He could have been up there. Night Cleo got involved in an incident. We do have some new drivers, actually. Colin, I'll get the lineup on my screen because Riley, unfortunately, has dropped out, as is a few other drivers. I cannot pronounce the second driver to the life of me, but they teamed up with each other. So we got Wolf and Kozarek. I think that's how you say it. Kozarek. Oh, thank God I'm not commentating tonight on this tier, otherwise it would be a nightmare to try and pronounce it. Koz, there we go. I'm going to say Koz. And returning to One Hub Racing in, well, F1 equal championship terms, is the Fury Formula. That is great to have him back. So we got pretty much 3 drivers racing in the P4 tier for the first time this season. 2 new drivers, 1 returning.
Yeah, so it's going to be very interesting to see how those drivers get on. Fury obviously raced with us in the equal championship last season, so he understands the format. He knows the systems that we use, so he's going to feel probably the most comfortable out of everyone, out of the new starters. And of course, he has raced in the Realistic Championship, which Axlock won. So it's going to be very interesting to see how those drivers get on.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. It's always tough to go in halfway through the season, but you never know. They could do really well. And I think especially the 2 drivers in the Racing Bulls, I think they're new to league racing. So it's going to take a while for them to adapt. But we have seen many drivers improve quite a lot. So I'm very intrigued to see what they do. But we'll get the championship standings back up because you're probably wondering why those new drivers as well are there. Lynn Valk, unfortunately, can't race for the rest of the season. So there we go. Joel Flats has had a good season so far, but I think he could have been higher up there. I think one other driver that surprised me in a good way that's also been consistent is James. 4th in the championship.
Yes.
He has not finished anywhere outside the top 9. His best result was a podium in round 3 in Australia. And he has got, it might not have been Australia, it might have been a different track, but I can't remember. But he's got really consistent results and he stayed out of trouble. He did struggle in the rain, to be fair, in Japan, but he still finished 9th, which is very respectful for him. So you said the biggest good surprise was Jake. In my opinion, biggest good surprise for me this season so far has been James.
Nice, yeah. I mean, if looking at his results, outside of Jamie, he's the most consistent driver. And you could argue he's more consistent than Jamie. So he's having a fantastic season in the Williams. I believe it's his first season in One Hub as well.
Yes.
And he's just 5 points off that elusive top 3. Don't forget, all drivers who finish in the top 3 in the championship will get a trophy. Jamie and Reaper and Jake are all hoping it's a gold one. But there's not many points. Like even Shiesty is only 9 points off third place.
And Mark and Joel as well.
Yeah.
Those people could potentially get a trophy as well. Anything can happen. So, should we start our predictions championship, Cole? Because
dum dum dum.
We are going to get this going. Now, we forgot to say another rule about this. We cannot predict the same top 3 in a particular order. We can predict them in a different order, but we can't predict the same top 3 in the same order. Same for pole position. So we take it in turns to go first for each tier. So Colin will go first for P4 and P2. I go first for P3 and P1 in terms of that. So Colin, who's your pole and top 3? And I'm not allowed to predict the same. Colin, you're on mute. Oh, he's gone. He is gone. He is gone from the chat. Okay, I was not expecting that. I'm tempted to be evil and go first, but I don't want to because he's back. Hello.
I'm back.
Right.
Discord decided to be weird.
Okay. Talk us through your your pole and top 3 predictions.
Right, here we go. Right, so my pole position for the P4 tier is Joel Flats.
Oh, good, mine's not the same.
That is my pole position punt. Now, my top 3. So, my winner, I'm also going to go for Joel. So I think Joel is going to get pole and the race victory. In second place, I'm going to go Jamie. And in third place, I'm going to go Jake. I think Jake's going to get 3 thirds in a row. So those are my predictions. So for pole, Joel. The race win, Joel. Second, Jamie. And third, Jake.
Okay, so you've not nicked any of my predictions. That's good. That's good. Good start. Right, so pole position for me, I'm going to go with Reaper. I think Reaper's going to get pole position.
Ooh. Okay.
But the win, I'm going to go Jamie for the win. I'm going to go with Jake P2, and I'm going to go with Shiesty P3. So that's my top 3.
Very interesting.
For P4. So...
Thanks a bunch, Dad. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. Mikey said Colin fell asleep. Dad says he was asleep before it started. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh my god! And you can watch.
No, that's a yeah. Sorry, you can watch P3 at 3 p.m. Commentated by Liam and Papa Squanch around a brilliant track of Bahrain. I enjoy the circuit. I'm just rubbish at it. But those are our predictions. And next week, we will go through what points that Jess and I have potentially scored or not scored, as the case may be.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out if we have time to do that, or we could just do it in one of the shows like the stewards. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So let's talk about P3 now. And me and Cole both looked at the standings before coming. I think we looked at it a few days ago when we were talking about the stewards room stream. The top 7, I would say, is probably the closest that we've seen all other tiers. Every other tier has had about 15 points gap between the top 2. This has a 15 or 16 point gap to the top 7, Colin. That's how close it is.
Yeah, it's wild. I have never, ever, in the history of me being involved in One Hub, seen a championship this close with this many drivers. It's absolutely absurd. And what I've said it many, many times before. This championship's going to come down to who makes the least mistakes and who can limit the bad results. You know, it's not going to be based on who wins the most races. It's going to be down to who makes the least mistakes and who is the most consistent. Yet again, Welsh Benjamin, right at the top of the championship, 3-point lead, not won a race.
Nope.
And that's the key thing. And it's happened before. We had Wapping Proverb. He won the championship without winning a race, which shows that consistency is what's important, not just individual race wins.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, we've had 2 or 3 drivers that have picked up 2 wins this season, but they're not leading the championship because they've been the least consistent. And it was great to see a few weeks ago Cole Waitsy pick up his first win in One Hub. I believe it's his first ever league racing win as well. I might be wrong. But he was moved down to P3 tier, and he had the pace and he did very well. Obviously, it's hard to tell if he had the pace to dominate or not, if it was a fully dry race or if people did not make mistakes, but it's hard to tell. Of course, we would find out when we get the first proper dry race of the rest of the season. It may not be tonight. It may be in a couple of weeks' time. We don't know. I could almost guarantee it'll probably rain tonight, but there we go. I hope it doesn't happen. But Ride Dog had a good performance in Japan, but I think he pitted one time I think he pitted one extra time than the others, and he could have been up there otherwise. Adejo got unlucky with a DNF. Mike got unlucky, he spun. Mikey got unlucky as well with an incident he had with Marshall. There's so many drivers that could have been up there near the top, but just got very unlucky.
Yeah, that's the thing. some of the drivers there would have been very disappointed with their results. But the beauty of this championship, it is so close. I mean, you look at Ivor Bryn Mike, he's down in 7th. He is only 10 points off 3rd. He's only 12 points off 2nd. It's so close. It's going to be very interesting to see where, I'm going to take a screenshot of the championship at this stage, and I'm going to put a bet on that not one person's going to be, pretty much in the same position. It's going to be that kind of championship. Can Welsh Benjamin continue his form?
He's been leading since the very start.
He had a bit of a nightmare last time out, but importantly, his nearest rival, Boney Fish, had an even worse result. So it helped Benjamin. Even though he had a bad result, he actually increased his lead.
Yeah, I think he got very unlucky with a few incidents, Boney Fish, bless him. But I believe for Boney Fish, he doesn't need to do any more penalties, I believe. I might be wrong, so quote me if that's not the case, Boney Fish, if you're watching. We're going to be interviewing him next, by the way, so that's going to be exciting. But not yet, though. Not yet. We've still got quite a few things to go. Of course, we are still looking for 2 drivers to race in this tier. So if you think you can match up the pace in P3, make sure you sign up. That will be lovely. Of course, we've got Cam that's moved down to the P3 tier. How do you think he would do tonight?
Now, I think if it's raining, I think he could be fighting for a podium in this tier. If it's dry, I think he'll probably be top 7, somewhere around there. But this track is very odd. I think it's more of a control. I say more of the disadvantages that the controller drivers have. This circuit, it's the least. So that disadvantage is not as bad as other circuits.
I don't think many people are racing on a pad in P3. I think most people are racing on a wheel.
Yes, I think they are. So that will kind of level that out. But I think any controller drivers out there, they could have a really good result.
Quinn would be, but unfortunately Quinn's not racing. So Quinn's not racing tonight. So I think everyone that's racing is wheels. So White Dog's on a pad. Okay. Right, that's giving me ideas on predictions, and I get to go first. So, Cole. So my pole position, it's debatable because I would have gone for someone else, but he might not be racing tonight. But if he didn't withdraw tonight, it would have been Joe, hands down. I would have put Joe for pole position, but he's not racing tonight. So my pole position is going to be Boney Fish is going to be my pole position.
Ooh.
And the race win, I'm going to go for Welsh Benjamin's going to take his first ever victory. I'm going to go with Ride Dog in P2. And I'm going to go with Waitsy in 3rd.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Right. Oh, Welsh Benjamin just said he raced here Friday night. Legend.
Thank you, Welsh Benjamin. Woohoo! Right, go on, Cole. Your turn, and you're allowed to pick the same podium, but just not the same order.
God damn it! Right. So my pole position. I'm gonna go with Joe for pole position around here.
He might not be racing tonight.
Okay, I'm going to change that. Plan B. Oh, flip.
Imagine if he does race tonight. That's going to be... Oh,
I know. Right, my pole position. I'm going to go Mikey getting a pole position. Ooh. Mikey's getting better and better. That is my punt for pole position.
Okay.
Now, race win. I'm going to go Boney Fish for the race win.
Okay. Interesting.
In 2nd place, I'm going to go Welsh Benjamin. And in 3rd place, no pressure, I'm going to go Miss Jessica Ball.
No. I'm not going to do well. Every time you predict me, most times I do rubbish, but there we go. I'm surprised you didn't pick Rydog because it's a pad track. So, there we go.
Oh, he's on pad, is he? Ooh.
No. You made it now. You made it now.
Don't know.
Right, anyway, so you can catch P40 at Harper's 4 with Lawrence and Curly, but before we move over to P2, should we have a chat with one of our drivers, and I'll let you have this one, Carl?
Let's do it.
Right, let's speak to our driver who's P2 in the championship, and I can bring him in. Bony Fish, can you hear us? Bony Fish, can you hear us? Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
Hello! Yay! Cole, take it away.
All right.
Good morning, Fish. How are you?
Not bad, you.
Very good, thank you. Very good. So, how are you feeling for Bahrain? Is it a favourite of yours, or do you think you're going to struggle? Or
It's a comfortable one for me because it's a nice. I like being smooth, and this is a good one for me. So, I'm quietly confident, not overly, but quietly.
very good, nice. Now, you didn't have the best result last time out, getting 12th, but you did get a point. Obviously your teammate is leading the championship. Have you been helping each other, or is it just every man for himself?
Well, I try not to crash into him. So.
good start.
But, you know what? I think I came into the it's my first year, so I just came into it hoping, didn't know what's really to expect. But I'd be happy if we just won the constructors. I'm happy to help Welsh win it.
Ooh, interesting.
Wow, there we go. Yeah, obviously the constructors is looking fantastic for yourself, and don't forget the drivers that win the constructors championship, they also receive a trophy at the end of the season as well, so that's another incentive to do well in the constructors. So Bony Fish, dry or wet, what are you hoping for?
That's the thing, innit? There's a chance it could be a full wet quali.
Yes.
I hope not.
I think the only combination that has a fully wet quali is very wet to wet. We've had that before. We had it at Silverstone at the start of last season, didn't we, Carl?
We did, yeah.
And I did rubbish at that.
But I hope it's dry, but we'll see. Whatever happens, doesn't it? I'll have to just go with it.
Yes, well, thank you very, very much for joining, and best of luck. You can tune in to watch Bony Fish and the rest of P3 at 4:30.
Yes, we'll let you go. Best of luck, Bony Fish.
Cheers.
It's always great to do our predictions before we speak to the driver as well, because otherwise we get a false sense of security. We get a false sense of security, or we think this person does well, whatever. I don't know. It's going to be a close one, this tier. It's going to be very exciting. But let's move on to P2 now. And that has the championship has not really changed in terms of the drivers' championship and who's leading it. Jacob has been leading it for quite a while, and the gap is massive. Jacob's on 108 points. Solal is on 65 points, and the gap between the top two is 43 points, which is huge. Jacob is having a very good season, but Solal is as well, 4th place last time out. He doesn't feel confident that he's going to close up to Jacob, but anything can happen. We saw that with Papa Squanch last season.
Yeah, this is what we were saying. I remember us saying, at the halfway point of last season, really, right, it's Papa Squanch's title. Who's going to get second? Yeah. And it did not work out like that at all. So this is there's a lot of pressure on Jacob, actually. It might not seem it because he's got a big lead, but all the pressure's on Jacob. It's his to lose. So if he has a bad patch, it could get in his head a little bit, and he could start panicking and then make mistakes. At the moment, it's not happening. He's driving superbly well. His worst position is third, which is astonishing consistency.
Incredible.
Absolutely amazing. But it's going to be very interesting to see the other drivers, try to close in on him. Just 1 point separating Salo and Kinney, with Lukey only 11 points further back in fourth place.
Lukey's going to hope it's raining. To be fair, I was doing practice with Lukey last night, and he was looking pretty good. He was looking really good pace-wise, so watch out for him as well. But we haven't seen what the other drivers as well. I'm interested to see what Larkin could do. Mokri is not racing tonight. I would have predicted him to do well, but he's not racing tonight. But yeah, they're very poor, Japan. And don't forget, this lobby, Colin, had a lobby restart a few weeks ago because the game was the game.
Yeah, unfortunately, it went a bit pear-shaped, the game. But in all fairness, I mean, the lobbies have been very, very stable the last couple of seasons, to be fair. Unfortunately, doesn't matter what game or platform you race on, you are going to get the odd glitch and the odd
disconnect
lobby. Yeah, it's going to happen, unfortunately. But just like I was talking to Dad about it, and Dad's only been disconnected twice in over 200 races. One of them was the game's fault, and one of them was Dad's internet. So, it is pretty stable. Yes, we know glitches happen, but unfortunately, they are relatively rare these days, which is good.
Yeah, I'm glad it's rare as well, and it just shows that the lobbies are stable, which is great to see. But I think I'm just trying to look on who we think could do well tonight. Josh, of course, won his first race in the P2 tier. Very solid results. The crossover, I think, I have to say, is massive. Is quite small in this tier. Alexa got very unlucky. Same with Zontor as well. 13th. Rich DNF'd. Alfie did okay as well. I think it's one of those tiers where I'm like, coming into each race, I'm like, I don't know who's going to do well because quite a lot of... Nobody's being consistent apart from Jacob, pretty much.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. I mean, you can see Salo took the race win at round 1. And then had 8-9-8 and then got back on the podium at round 5. So the only race that Jacob wasn't winning the championship was round 1. But, it doesn't matter. It's all about what happens at the end of round 12. And there's a lot of racing and a lot of laps before then.
Yeah, we are at the second half of the season now. Anything could happen. And like you were saying earlier, it's going to go down to who has made the little mistakes in this tier. And of course, we did have a full tier, but of course Cam dropped down. So there's still a space in P2. But shall we get our predictions as to who we think's going to do well in P2 tonight? And Colin, it's your turn.
My turn to go first. So
yes.
My punt for pole is going to be Josh.
Damn it.
Josh is Josh is just I think it's his first race in P2, is that right?
No, it's second.
Second. So that's my punt for pole position is going to be Josh. Now, first place, I'm going to go for a Salo victory. I think he's going to get his second victory of the season. In second place, I'm going to go Jacob.
Right.
And in third place, I'm going to go Lukey. So I did a bit of practice with Lukey and Jess yesterday, and Lukey is absolutely flying.
And Vidog also predicts a Lukey podium. There we go. Get your predictions in the chat. So I've gone for luckily I've had a plan B, Cole. So my pole prediction is Jacob. And
okay.
I think who did you pick for the win again, Salah? Okay.
Yeah.
So my winner is going to be Josh. Second, Jacob. Third place, Kinney.
Oh, very interesting. Very interesting.
So there we go. That's my prediction for P2.
Very good. Very good.
So we didn't go for the same, did we? We both predicted Jacob for the podium. It's pretty much a given, isn't it? But you never know.
Well, I mean, what impresses me most about Jacob is his wheel to wheel. Not his, he's very quick, obviously, but it's his wheel to wheel, in my opinion, is why he's up in the lead and stays on the podium. We saw, I don't know if anyone tuned in to the Steward stream on Friday night, that we showed a good case of racing between Jacob and Lukey. And Jacob and Lukey driving very intelligently. And Jacob has shown this straight off the bat, in P3 last season, going wheel to wheel. I think Dad and Jacob went side by side for 4 consecutive corners, which was brilliant. And I think that's why Jacob is doing so well. And Jacob, I've said it many times before, he reminds me of J. Cole in P1.
He's getting better, because I think he first ever league raced in our league, and that was in the lowest tier, and then he's moving up and up. I can see him being in the top tier next season. I can't wait to see how he does there if he ever gets there. So, yeah, it's always nice to see Jacob improving, and I'm proud that he's improving, and it's great to see. So, let's move on to P1 and the championship. Getting closer, I would say, between Kevin and Marco. None of the top 2 actually won the last race. The person who did won the last race was Alex, and he's in third place at the moment. It's just no one's been able to get wins in a row apart from Kevin, and Kevin's missing tonight, I believe. So this is gonna be Marco and Alex's golden opportunity to really close the gap to Kevin, knowing that Kevin's not going to be here tonight.
Yes, exactly that. And that's going to be very, very important. Kevin's very, very consistent as well. Because I'm just looking now. Yeah, so his worst position is 6th last time out. He's got a 15-point lead over Marco. Marco really, really could do with getting a victory here this evening.
Which would put him in the championship lead, I think. Hold on, what's the...
Yes, I think it would. It would.
Yeah, it would by a few points. Not by much.
No, but that will certainly be Marco's aim. Alex there had a great victory last time out. Puts him on 70 points in 3rd place. Lukito had a bit of a nightmare, only getting 11th. That's his worst result of the season. Yeah.
That because he's been one of the most consistent up until that point. He got very unlucky with the rain. Logan, I think, was my biggest good surprise in the P1 tier last time out. I think I picked him as driver of the day, or Jamie did. I can't remember, but we definitely picked one of them, and he looked like he was at home throughout all of that race. And if he's racing tonight, Logan's going to, I think, be a threat again. Epic the Animal in 6th. Yes, he's in 6th now. Even if the top 5 make a mistake, Logan can still catch back up. I was very impressed with his performance last time out.
Yeah, he drove so well. No mistakes. Made some very, very good overtaking maneuvers as well. This will that give him the confidence to go forward now and continually improve. But there's quite a few drivers here who had a bit of a nightmare last time out, myself included. Casper as well only managed 15th, so Casper will be looking to get a better result. Senna had a DNF, so he'll be certainly hoping for something better. And obviously myself as well, only managing 14th, but I did get the fastest lap point for the bottom 10.
So technically you still got a point.
So technically I did get a point. And KZR Dave, he's going to be hoping to get some points. He is still on 0 at this stage.
He's very unlucky. He's a quick driver, but he just makes so many mistakes. And or he gets unlucky with a few incidents. I think if he could cut out the mistakes, he could be up there and climb his way up, because he's definitely a driver that could be up there if he limits the mistakes. And also, there's one driver that I like to highlight because it is someone's birthday in the P1 tier. I'm not sure if he's racing tonight or not. If he is, then fair play. But if he's not, understandable. It is Arnoud's birthday today. And if he is racing tonight, he'll be thinking of a good result. So if you are in Discord, on the One Hub Racing Discord, make sure you wish Arnoud a happy birthday in the community chat. Wouldn't it be great for him to... Arnold to do well on his birthday? Let me check if he's racing tonight, actually. I won't be surprised if he isn't, though.
I think he is. I don't think he's signed up.
He is racing. Wow. Racing on his birthday. Dedication.
Love it. So, Jess, what is your predictions? It's your turn to go first.
Okay. So, this is a tough one, because obviously Kevin's not racing today. So... my pole position is going to be... oh, God help me. Marco. My pole position is going to be Marco.
Okay.
And my race victor... oh, this is a tough tier, because I commentate on them every single week. My race winner is not going to be Marco. It's going to be... Alex. I think Alex is going to take the Alex is going to take the victory. I'm going to predict Craggy P2. I would predict Atslop, but he's not racing tonight. And I'm going to pick Logan P3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hopefully they don't have gearbox or engine penalties, otherwise I'm going to cry.
So where did Logan finish last time out?
P2.
Okay, P2.
Right, Colin, over to you.
Right, so my punt for pole position, I'm going to go with a craggy pole position.
Nice.
I think Marco is going to get the race victory.
Ooh, I should have thought of that.
I think Lakitu is going to get third place. Sorry, second place.
I was going to say you missed out one. You can't count, Carl.
I can't count.
First you can't sleep. Now you can't count.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And then I'm going to go Callum in P3.
Oh, those are smart choices. I probably should have gone for quite a few of them, to be fair. But you can catch P1 tier at 7:30 with myself and Jamie in the comms box. I'm looking forward to that, actually. But this is where our predictions is probably going to fall flat in our faces, Carl, because we are going to be looking at the car wear penalties, and we are allowed to have a look at them, Carl. So let's get them up so we can see it on our screen. So I'll do P1 and P2, and you do P3 and P4. So we'll start with the P1 tier. So a reminder, every single driver has to take an engine penalty, which is 10 places, and a gearbox penalty, which is 5 places. They can't take them both at the same time. If a driver is raced for the entire season and doesn't DNF, it can't make the whole season. So they have to take it by round 10. If they don't take it by round 10, their engine or gearbox will blow up and they will DNF and all that jazz. So they must take it. Even if you join mid-season, you still have to take it. And even if you miss a race or a couple of races, you still have to take it, because otherwise you have points deductions. But anyway, let's go through who has got what. So P1, they have got a lot of drivers taking engine and gearbox penalties. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drivers taking engine penalties and gearbox penalties. Good luck, Colin, trying to do the grid. But you've done you've probably sorted out an easier way for tonight, so it's probably going to be a lot easier now. So, taking engine penalties is Mertzi, Marco, Arnoud, Casper, Jaco, and Dave. And taking gearbox penalties is Robite, Lakitu, Colin, and Morgan. So,
It's a lot, isn't it?
That is a lot. That's got the most out of all tiers. Because in the next tier, they've got 5. So I think, and in P3 they got 5 as well, and in P4 they got 4. So they haven't got as many, unsurprisingly. So taking engine penalties is Salal, Kermit, Papa Squanch, and taking gearbox penalties is Lukey and Kinney. I just realised I just missed one. Then taking an engine is Jonas Albrecht. So there we go. That is your P2 penalties.
So in P3, we got one driver taking a gearbox, and that is Adagio.
Smart.
And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers taking an engine. That's Mikey, Iverbryn Mike, Hedquist, and our very own Jessica Ball. So they're going to be taking a 10-place grid pen. Complete lunatic, are you? Then in P4, we got 4 drivers taking carware, 2 engine and 2 gearbox. The drivers taking the engine is Joel and Jake. Oh, God, that could really hurt my predictions.
Oh, that's messed up our predictions. Oh, God.
And the drivers taking the gearbox are Reaper and Oaken.
That's messed up my Reaper and Jake in particular. Oh, God.
Well, don't forget, it's. I think Jamie started 15th in one race and went on and won the race. So it's certainly it makes it harder, no doubt, but it certainly doesn't make it impossible.
But if it was one of those tracks where people could take it, I'm not surprised that a lot of drivers have taken it here, because obviously quite a lot of people are taking it in places where you can't overtake. Bahrain's a track where you can overtake, but there's going to be a lot of DRS trains. But I could see people with car wear penalties could change this up a bit to negotiate the fact that it's a DRS train or whatever. But there are some drivers who have not taken it at all this season. So they've got to make sure they do it. I bet you there's going to be a lot of people in the lower tiers that are going to take it in the next few races. So if you've already taken it, then you're probably going to be at a huge advantage. So there we go. Ride Dog saying, I'll be happy if I make a podium tonight. I think it's possible for you, Ride Dog. Never give up hope. So we've done car wear stuff. Shall we do the weather, Cole, and you explain what the weather system is?
Let's go for it. So at One Hub Racing, we use an adaptive weather system. So we have various scenarios ranging from light cloud to overcast to heavy rain, light rain, and sunny. And we've got ones for qualifying and the race. So once that scenario is used, that scenario is removed from the options in the wheel and it is respun. So that same scenario won't appear again. So we got one for qualifying and one for the race.
And a reminder, we use one wet weather sessions each, one for qualifying, one for the race. We got 3 more that we can have this season. We have a limit of 4, and there's 3 each for qualifying, 3 for the race that can be possible. So can we potentially get another wet session out of the way, or will it be dry and it'll be, there's quite a few people that are wanting rain dances. Ride Dog, I think Ride Dog's going to do well if it's raining, to be fair. He did well in Japan. So let's get the wheel up, ladies and gentlemen, so you can see it on your screen for qualifying. Let's spin the wheel. So without further ado, oh, it's going to be wet to clear, Carl.
Oh, that's very, very interesting. So it's going to be dry towards the end. But when? It's not going to. But it's going to be very difficult because there's still going to be slightly damp potentially. But that's going to be brilliant. That's going to be chaos at the end of qualifying. Great.
I kind of like that, to be fair. That's the least worst of the wet conditions. So I'm happy. I'm happy. And the fact that it's on approximate, it could be a last-minute showdown, or it could not. You never know. You never know. Anything can happen. So let's get on and talk about the race. I have a bad feeling it's going to rain, Cole. I just don't want it. Colin wants Storm. Rydog wants Storm. I don't. And I'm going to cry if it rains. So, without further ado, let's get the wheel up once again. And as you can see on your screen, let's spin the wheel. Dun,
Here we go.
Dun. I can't see all of it. Okay, that's interesting. So, it's clear to light cloud to overcast for the race. So luckily we get a dry race. So for those people who got engine and gearbox penalties, they could breathe a sigh of relief.
Oh, so they're going to be happy then. The drivers, obviously, the drivers taking engine penalties and gearbox penalties, they're going to have the advantage of DRS to enable their overtakes. So the drivers taking engine penalties, I think they're going to be very happy.
I think the ones who haven't taken any penalties this season, they're probably going to be clenching their fists a bit, Cole, aren't they?
I'd say so, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I've still got one more to take. I think there's quite a few that have got one, but there's a lot of tiers that have still got, apart from P1, I think half the grid has taken penalties in that tier. But for the other tiers, there's a lot of drivers that haven't taken any yet. So let's see. Let's find out.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting now to see how the drivers are going to cope, especially in qualifying. You know, it's almost going to be one-shot qualifying. You know, drivers aren't going to get many laps on the dry tyres to get a good lap in.
Exactly. And before we head off, let's have a quick run through of our sponsors. So thank you to Delta.app. They're our title sponsor, and if you use the code if you use the command !Delta, you can make smarter decisions like the world's top investors and track your journey to success with Delta. You can click the link in the description to download the app. Of course, we like to thank our other sponsors as well: Pure Sim Gear, Sim Racing Setups, Next Level Racing, Vespertine, and Sim Grid, as you can see on your screen. And don't forget, the discount has been up for Sim Racing Setups. You now get 10% off Sim Racing Setup by using the code OneHubRacing, and you can use that for the new F1 26 DLC setups, which are now available for pre-order. And if you want to get 10% off that, make sure you use the code OneHubRacing. Colin, any final thoughts before we head off, have some lunch, and then get practicing?
Well, just good luck to every driver racing this evening. Our first stream's going to be at 3 o'clock for the P4 race. Tune in to see that racing. Can Jamie extend his lead? Can the drivers behind him catch him up?
And can the ones with gearbox and engine penalties climb their way up through the field? We're going to have to wait and see. Those are the timings on your screen. P4 starts at 3, P3 starts at 4:30, P2 starts at 6, and P1 starts at 7:30. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Jess Ball, he's been Colin R. Mason, and we will let you go and get practicing, I guess. So take care, everybody. Stay safe, and good luck for everybody that is racing. Goodbye.